Good morning. Good morning. Peace be with you. I want to welcome us to worship at Granby Congregational Church. I'm so glad that you are joining us today. If you are worshiping online, we want to say an extra special welcome to you. We're glad you are part of our congregation this morning. If you're joining us for the first time, we want you to know that no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. This morning, if you have a prayer request, I encourage you to write those down. We're going to be picking them up early in the service. There's tan cards in your pews, and we'll be sharing with those with each other. If you'd like to share your information, your contact information to get better connected with the church, there's forms in the pews where you can do that as well. You can leave those in the plates at the front or back of the sanctuary. And that is also a great place if you have an offering or financial pledge that you would like to make this morning. First of all, thank you. And second of all, you can leave that in those places as well, or you can give online. Are there any announcements this morning? Mary says yes.
That was really sweet. Thank you. So, Walter Ford, I'm up here speaking to you on behalf of Stewardship today. I'm not going to give a touching testimonial like Scott Thibault did last week, but I'm up here to suggest that you all should have seen a mailing this week with a pledge card and a letter, and hopefully you've read that and thought about it, prayed on it. We're not going to talk too much about dollars raised. We think that will just take care of itself. You're going to hear us talk a lot about turning the corner. And what I mean by that is back in 22, our combined churches had 139 pledge units. That dropped to 123 in 23, and it dropped to 105 in 24. So we want to turn the corner on that. This church is vibrant, it's lively, and we need the financial support to carry on all the work we're doing. Thank you.
Good morning. I just wanted to give you an update that we've raised $1,200 for Thanksgiving baskets for the Granby Social Services, and there's still some donations coming in, so it'll be a little more than that. So right now we could actually fill 14 vouchers for families, so that's great. Thank you so much.
Tonight I'm preaching at the Interfaith Thanksgiving service in Simsbury, and we are all invited. And I feel a little bit like, if our high school students were going to like the state championship and then we all show up just to support them, I'm saying, please come support me because it'll be a room full of strangers, and I'd love to see some good Granby folks. The information is in the bulletin. And then Thursday evening, a big crew of us are going to the Power Summit for the Greater Hartford Interfaith Action Alliance. It's an event that happens every 2 years of people of faith from across Hartford County who are really focused on change in the work of peace and justice in our communities and come together to both celebrate that and prepare for a year of work ahead. So please join Granby on our as we go to the Power Summit on Thursday evening. And please let me know if you are coming so that we can make sure we'll be sitting together. There's a whole thing. We'll be carpooling, and we want you to be connected with that. So we are a congregation that is very good at doing a new thing. As a church that is still less than 2 years old, it is in our DNA to try things differently, to take risks, to step outside of our comfort zone. And we're going to be doing that a little bit today. So our worship will begin, as it always does, with prayers, with music. We will hear the joys and concerns of our community. And then we're going to switch things up a little bit. And it feels a little bit like this is a test of did you read the newsletter? but I want to make sure that we're all on the same page so that as we do a new thing together, that we're feeling up for it and embracing the different rhythm of this day. We will be breaking out into discussion groups all across the campus. And when we come to that time, I'll be sharing information. We have leaders who will be guiding the conversations in those groups. You will be well taken care of. But it is, I just want to acknowledge, it's a little bit different than what we experience on Sunday morning. Our kids and our youth have a fantastic craft planned activity together. So we're working to take care of all ages from Amiri on up. And this morning, as we do this new thing together, as we continue to nurture our relationships and get to know one another today. So let us prepare our hearts and minds as we enter into a time of worship.
Good morning. As you read the call to worship, please notice the exclamation points and read with gusto. What does it mean to be the church? Love God, love our neighbors, and love ourselves. How does that love begin to take root? By nurturing relationships, by getting to know each other. We have the opportunity to see divine love in our neighbor. And when should we begin? Right now. May conversation and connection be a sacred source of comfort and courage for the living of this day. Let's all sing The Church of Christ in Every Age from the Black Hymnal, page 306.
Let us offer each other God's welcome and love, saying, "Peace be with you, and also with you." So as we share the joys and concerns of our church community this morning, these are some of the prayers that have been lifted up. We're praying for Scott, who is back in the hospital, hopefully briefly, praying for quick healing and good care for him. We're praying for Peg as she prepares for heart surgery on Tuesday, praying for positive outcome for the surgery and praying for her care team. We're lifting up prayers for John Stevenson's family following the passing of his aunt. So we're lifting up prayers of comfort for the DeGarmo family after Dot DeGarmo passed this last Monday at age 93. Prayers of thanksgiving for a life well lived and comfort for all who love Dot. He really is a sound of joy this morning. So I am lifting up joy and thanksgiving. Are there other prayer requests this morning?
Just a recognition for all the student athletes at Granby High School for the fall sports. Several of the teams went quite far in the state championship, and that's quite a commitment.
Prayers of joy for our student athletes at Granby High School, for our fall athletes, for all the distances they went, for their determination and commitment, and the pride they should be feeling at the end of that season. Other prayers?
And all the winners and losers, may they both enjoy their
Yeah, that goes beyond our student athletes. May all the winners and losers both enjoy their games. It's a good prayer request. Please join me in the spirit of prayer. Holy God, our hearts are tuning into you this morning, tuning into you through the prayers of our friends, our neighbors, our loved ones, our fellow church members. We are lifting up quick healing for those who need it, comfort for those who are longing to be comforted. We are praying for care and compassion for all people. For those who are grieving, for those who are struggling, for those who are living in a place of uncertainty. God, may they feel your presence, the assurance of your love surround them. And our prayers extend out beyond the people we know, beyond this community, beyond our families, into every corner of the world. Wherever there is hurt, God, bring healing. Wherever there are places that feel divided into winners and losers, may all remember that we are one people, your children. We are praying for peace where there is war. We are praying for justice where there is oppression. We are praying for healing in every household, every person, every nation. We lift up these concerns, these hopes, and so much more into the silence of the sanctuary and into our homes, wherever we are gathered, feeling your Spirit move amongst us. Let us continue using the words that Jesus taught his disciples, saying together, O Holy One, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. For the last 6 months or so, we have been listening to each other as a congregation, lifting up our hopes for who we are as a church, our hopes for the future. We have been doing that in worship all summer with reflection questions that thank you to the dozens and dozens of people that participate in that. And then we continued that work this fall through house meetings, all throughout the last 3 months, and committee meetings of sharing our hopes and dreams with our church leaders. And we've been doing that because as a new church, it's really important for us to know who we are and to have a clear sense of this is our congregation, this is who we are, how we embody our faith together, and how we're a little bit different maybe than the church down the road, it's important to know, to have that sense of strong identity, so that as we continue to grow or to make decisions into the future, we have a strong foundation that we can do that from. And the result of that is a draft mission statement and core practices that our visioning team from council has put together, that all of these words came from the meetings and reflections from this congregation. We took about 30 pages of notes and moved it into like 7 sentences. And so this morning, we're gonna break into discussion groups and use this statement, which is on the back of your bulletin, just as a springboard to hear affirmation of the work that we have done, to get your reflections, but also to use it as a springboard to get to know each other better. Where do we see these themes show up in our life? Why does this matter? Not just in general, but like, why does this matter to me? And our facilitators will guide you through that. We're gonna move across the campus, and I'll just walk through where those groups are. If you, in your bulletin, you should have a sheet that has a location on it. If for mobility purposes, you would prefer to stay in one of the groups in the sanctuary, you're welcome to do that, and we'll be asking other members who maybe have more mobility to then switch with you. So go. If you need to stay in the sanctuary, you want to stay in the sanctuary groups, you can do so. Head there and our facilitators will work with you on that. And so first we're going to invite our children and youth. Any children and youth that want to be a part of discussion group, you are welcome to do so. We need all voices, but we'll invite them to head out to their class this morning together. And then behind them are our 4 groups that are meeting in the fellowship hall, which is the building right over there. There's 2 will be in the large space where we have coffee hour. 1 will be in the library and 1 will be in the parlor. For all those rooms, you're gonna walk into that building, go up the half flight of stairs. The fellowship hall, big rooms on your right. The other 2 rooms are down your left. The 2 groups will stay in the sanctuary. 1 will be meeting in the back and 1 will be meeting up here where the choir normally is. If you go downstairs, there's 2 groups meeting down there. There's stairs right out this exit, or if you go out the back door, there's a door on the left. You can go downstairs there. The lower meeting room's the big room that's right under the sanctuary. And then the choir room, both of these rooms are labeled, is right in the hallway past the lower meeting room. My office, if you go out this door and go up the stairs, my office is right there. There's a group there. And then the youth building is the building back there. It is, I will tell you, it's the warmest, comfiest place in the campus. And so there's going to be a group out in the youth building. This is going to be fun. It's going to be chaos for 2 minutes. I guarantee every group is going to say, we didn't have enough time, and that's good, because the hope is that our discussions will continue. So thank you for trusting each other as we try this little experiment this morning, and go in peace to your groups. Yeah.
Do we come back to the sanctuary?
No. Your groups will be closing worship together with a prayer, and then after 11 or at 11, just not before 11, you can head to coffee hour together. So, perfect. Good question.